What's so great? Good evening, people of God, and it's me, Eliezer, as usual, and I'll be here to do with you some of the work uh, of the in biology, and I want you to just join me and just grab your past papers, and then if you have one, if you don't have it, you can still use the PP I'm using right now. So in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at, we're going to be revising this bit of paper, which is from the year 2024 and November 5th. And if you see this, then you need to know that this is an internal past paper. All right, so I will start with the first questions and we see what we are going to be discussing as we move forward. So question number 1 says, which characteristic of living organism involves ingestion, absorption, and assimilation? All right, so when you look at these three options that have been given, they are all talking about processes that occurs in the alimentary canal, and so this is part of nutrition, right? So your answer here specifically is nutrition. It's not growth, and it's not excretion, and it's not respiration. It's only nutrition when you put food in your body, which is ingestion, and then after digestion it is absorbed, that is absorption, and after being absorbed it becomes part of the body, and that is assimilation. So the answer here is what? Nutrition for question number 1. We go to question number 2. We see what we have. Question number 2, they're saying which cell organelle is involved in respiration? So you need to remember that under respiration, there's only one cell organelle which is responsible there. And this cell organelle is known as the mitochondrion. And this is where, or rather a site where respiration occurs, the powerhouse of the cell. So the answer here is what? Mitochondrion, which is C here. It's not chloroplast, it's not endoplasmic reticulum or ribosome. The answer is C, which is mitochondrion. All right, so we go to question number 3, right? Question number 3. Which of the following is true regarding active transport, right? Which is true regarding active transport? So when you look at all of these options, they are not agreeing to our statement. What agrees there is that it occurs against concentration gradient, and this means that it moves from an area of where it's in low concentration to an area where it's in high concentration. That's what it means. So when you look at option number 1 there, you see that an input of energy is not required, which is not true. And then B is saying it allows particles to pass easily between lipids in the cell membrane, no. And particles move from high concentration to low concentration, no. The answer is C here. So question number 3, the answer is what? Is C. Alright, so let's make sure that we remember that one as our answer. Question number 3, the answer is what? C. Okay, so we got number 4. Number 4 gives us an option, and the question says the diagram demonstrates enzyme specificity and the stages in which an enzyme controlled chemical reaction may occur. Alright, when we look at this type of a chemical reaction, it is a catabolic reaction, meaning it breaks apart substrate. Okay, so now we really need to understand that here in this question we need to understand what this whole what all these labeled parts represent. Okay, so when you look at the first one here, they're saying L. What is L there? And check L throughout the reaction, it remains unchanged, so L must be an enzyme. And then we look at M there. M ends up being broken down, and this means that M is what? Is a substrate. And then we see there N, that is the site where an enzyme is very active. It's called the active site. So, and O are the products of M. So that is it. So what are the answers for question number 4? What are the answers for question number 4. Question number 4, the answer is what? A. L is enzyme, M is substrate, N is active site, and O is Z, presenting products. Right. Number 5. Which of the following is not a good source of lipids? Right. So we're looking for something which is going to give us some lipids, and one of them which is not going to be that one. So we see avocados. Avocados, they have got lipids. Look at cheese, has lipids. And when you look at castor seeds, they also, I don't know if they have more than what you know. I don't know if you know them. But castor seeds, they also have what? Lipids. Now, how about caterpillars? Do they have lipids? I know it's not a good source of lipids, right? As you know that is very high in proteins. So the answer is C here. All right. So we go to number 6. And just to remind you, I'll be answering only 12 questions in tonight's session. So 12 questions only. And if you want to learn more, just inbox me or drop your comments down there on the questions where you need help, and then I'll be there to assist you. So let's continue. Which of the following food nutrients promotes peristalsis? So for peristalsis to happen, that's under nutrition. For those of you who are following topic by topic, this comes from a topic of nutrition, and the part is the human digestive system, which is the alimentary canal. So you find that there are nutrients which are needed very much for the prevention of what? Constipation, meaning it promotes peristalsis. So what is that type of food? Without you wasting time, the answer is roughage there, which is D. Right, roughage. Alright, we got number 6, 7. A diet rich in iron is ideal for which group of people? Is it A, lactating women, B, pregnant women, C, preschool women, and D, the aged? So the answer there is only ideal for the what? For the pregnant women. So they're saying the diagram below, the one you can see here, shows part of the leaf. So we see A there representing the epidermal cells, B representing the palisade cells, then C representing the spongy cells, and then D lower epidermal cells. Now what is the question saying? Which part shows epidermal cells? Epidermal cells. So there you see that A is the correct one, because D is a guard cell up near the stomata. So the answer is what? Is A here. And then D, you can see there's an opening there, and that is the stomata. So D is the guard cell. So the answer in this case is A. Question number 8. Question number 9. Which of the following is an example of an organism which carries out saprophytic nutrition? Okay, we are looking for an organism which carries out saprophytic nutrition. For those of you who do not know what saprophytic nutrition is, it is a type of nutrition where an organism feeds on dead organic matter, right? Yes, so that is it. So in this case, we have the answer there on part C, which is the rhizopass. Alright, the rhizopass is the answer here. Okay, we got number 10. The following diagram shows a human tooth, and they say identify the tooth and its function. So when you look at a tooth like this one, which is shaped like that, understand that this is a canine shape, and the job is only for tearing flesh. For tearing what? Flesh. So the answer here is A. Number 11. Which of the following food nutrients is an end product of digestion along the alimentary canal? So talking about the end product, you're talking about the last thing after digestion. So don't be confused. We're not talking about, any nutrient. We're talking about the end product. So what will be there to be absorbed after digestion? So is it A, amino acids, B, cellulose, C, fats, and D, proteins? The answer here is amino acid. Alright, my last question and not least, Number 12. Which changes occur to the diaphragm and the external intercostal muscles when a person breathes in deeply? Alright, remember this is also coming from the topic of respiration, which is gaseous exchange here now. Okay, so what happens to the diaphragm? The diaphragm here, it needs to contract, okay, and then meaning it's going to flatten, okay, and then the external intercostal muscles, what they do, they contract, meaning they're going to pull the rib cage upward and outwards. So that is, so the answer here is A for question number 12. Thank you for watching. If you are enjoying this work, consider following me up, and if you're watching from YouTube, consider subscribing and liking the video. For now, thank you very much. Let me see you again. Thank you.